Hi, my name is Seongmin from grade 12, and this video will be my senior portfolio video. Before I move on to my main topic, I'll shortly show you my university lists, which are 22 colleges for total. And so for the Common App, I only applied to one university for my early, which was Cornell. Of course, I get rejected. After that, I applied to 15 colleges, which is a lot, and these are the lists you can see. So if you want to look it carefully, you can just pause the video and look carefully. And next one will be the UC application. So I applied to 6 universities, as you can see here. So same as the Common App. You can just pause the video and look carefully which universities did I apply to. So my main topic, I'm gonna give you guys some college application tips and basic knowledge about UC application, and all are based on my experience. So step 1, meet college application deadlines. This is the most important because you always need to be aware of your every deadline. The reason is that if you apply to many colleges, then you could be confused on each college's deadlines. For your convenience, I recommend you to make a note on your laptop or any other places that you will frequently see. In addition, it is better to submit your application early. Most of the people might think that using as much as time they can for preparing a college application will make a better quality. Yeah, some of it is true, but let me tell you one story that really happened to me. One day, I was planning to submit my application to USC. However, I got the message that you can see on the screen that says application crash. Wow. Because of this single crash, it took me 5 hours to figure out the problem, and finally, I submitted just a few minutes before the deadline. I don't want you guys to feel this feeling as I did, so please submit your application early. Step 2. Complete the entire application carefully. You must always double check the materials and information you wrote on your applications. Imagine that every spec and information you prepare starting from freshman year to junior year as a single Zenga. For 4 years, you just built one single tower. However, what happens if you don't build your tower properly? Then it will just fall down, which will happen exactly the same for you if you don't check your application carefully. Step 3. Include your extracurricular activities. Most of the students think SAT and ACT are the most important things for your spec. However, it isn't. In my opinion nowadays, most of the colleges are portioning on extracurricular activities just as the SAT and ACT scores. Here is a tip. Create your resume as fast as you can. This will help you to recall your spec, and by organizing your spec, you can see which part is your weakness and which one is your strength. Step 4. Be neat and organized. If you don't organize your application or resume, the admission officers will think you are not serious about the application and feel uncomfortable. However, by organizing it, you can make them feel comfortable. So you can get credit if you make your application as neat as possible as you can. Step 5. Simple is the best, and please avoid floppy stuffs. Not only on your essay, but also on your descriptions about yourself or on your activities. Also, you don't need to use words that sound smart unless you know the proper usage of those vocabularies. Here are some tips that I can give you when you start thinking about your topic. It is just a simple tip, but if you want to look at it carefully, you can pause this video and look for it. Next is the UC application. I'm the only one who applied to most universities in California in the class of 2021 seniors in KCIS. So I'm gonna talk about how I prepared and some tips for the UC application step by step. But before going on to the first 5 steps, I'll show you guys about how the UC application and the universities changed the SAT and ACT policies. So, for the fall 2020 and fall 2021, the SAT and ACT will be considered test optional. SAT and ACT test scores won't be considered when awarding regents or chancellor's scholarships. In fall 2022 and fall 2023, UC will switch over to being a test blind school. And lastly, in fall 2024 and beyond, the ACT and SAT will be eliminated for all California students, and UC specific standardized tests will replace the ACT and SAT tests. This is how UC application works. On August 1st, UC application will be opened. On October 1st, you can start the FAFSA and other forms for application, but mostly in our school, we only need to prepare for the FAFSA. On November 1st to 30th, applications can be submitted to the universities, and from March 1st, UC start to send decisions to the student via email. Until May 1st, students must commit which school will he or she go to. And lastly, before July 1st, students must send their final high school transcript to the universities. And here is the first tip. Your very first step to applying to UC schools is to create an applicant account. This step will only take about a few minutes, since you just need to fill out basic information just like your email, name, which semester you want to start school, and if you're applying as a freshman or as a transfer student. After creating your account, you'll be immediately sent to the beginning of the application. The School of California application contains 8 sections: about you, campuses and majors, academic history, test scores, activities and awards, scholarships and programs, personal insights, and verified information. Once you've finished each section of your application, you can submit it, as long as it's between November 1st to 30th. When you submit your application, first, you'll enter in some final demographic information as well as your state of legal residence. Then, you'll review all the information you entered to make sure it's correct. Once everything is set, you'll pay the necessary fees. The application fee is $70, but for the international student, it will be the $80 for each UC school you apply to. Then you'll click submit and your application will officially be sent to the UC schools you're applying to. If you decide to take the SAT and ACT scores and submit those, you'll self-submit your test scores when you fill out your University of California application, but you also need to send official score reports to each of the UC schools you're applying to. You aren't required to take AP exams or SAT subject tests, but you can submit those scores as well if you did take those tests. To shortly talk about my thoughts on the college application process, I really want to tell every single one of you that be proud of yourself. You guys can think that the time just passed so fast and you did nothing. However, it isn't. Always be calm and look back at the path you walk through. It could be a short journey for someone and it could be a long journey for someone. But for everyone, You did a lot of things during your journey, and college will also look forward to learning about you guys. In addition, you guys don't need to be so scared about college. I'm not sure you guys think the same as I did, but in my case, I thought I could not get into any of the colleges in the US. Whatever, it wasn't. Just think about university as simple as you guys think about getting into high schools or even middle school in Korea right after you graduate from your school. And lastly, if you get an acceptance letter from any of the colleges, you are qualified to be proud of yourself and enjoy your life as much as you can. Also, share your happiness to other friends and family as much as you can so that you won't regret in the future. I hope this video was helpful for everyone, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Here is my email and phone number, and seize the day. Thank you.